forces in motion. Force and motion. So, a force is something you do. So, you can push, that's your force. What happened when he pushes this board? It moves. That's your motion. So you have to apply a force to get something to move. In order to get the door to open, you have to either use a force called push or use a force called pull. Push or pull. The force is the pushing or the pulling. The motion is the object moving. Nothing can move without a force behind it. Okay, let's watch this clip. By Jack Hartman. It's gonna come up. Let's see. I'll have to push pause for it. Hold on 1 second.
Do your students like watching explode?
Okay. Okay. Hold on.
Do your students like watching explosions, cute animals, and awesome science experiments? Then they're... Children's songs make your brain and body strong. Forces make things go up. Forces make things go down. Forces make things go back and forth. Forces make things go round and round.
Oh. It's loading. Sorry.
Forces push, push, push. Forces pull, pull, pull. Here are some things that forces make move. When you slide your chair back in place, a push is the force that makes it move. When you jump up high in the air, a push is the force that makes you move. When you come back down from a jump, a pull from gravity makes you move. Forces make things go up. Forces make things go down. Forces make things go back and forth. Forces make things go round and round. When you tug the rope in a tug of war, a pull is the force that makes it move. When you bend down and pick up a book, a pull is the force that makes it move. When you fly a kite in the air, a push from the wind makes it move. Forces push, push, push. Forces pull, pull, pull. Forces make things move. Forces are all around. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. For more fun...
Okay. So, that was a little bit about force and motion. So what we're going to do today, take out your handy dandy Play-Doh. I'm trying to open mine. And take some of it out. When I take my Play-Doh out, it just kind of looks like a glunky ball. There's nothing to it. force can I use to turn it into a snake? Use a force and turn it into a snake. Use a force. Go ahead and do it on your own. I'm going to do it too. Use a force to turn it into a snake. Then hold up your snake when you're done. Raise your hand if you want to tell me what force you used to take your blob of Play-Doh and turn it into a snake. What force did you use? Estelle.
I hold it like this a bit and so it doesn't break, and then I rolled it a bit and then I squiggled it like this.
Okay, so she used both forces. She pulled, and in order to roll it, you're having to push the Play-Doh back and forth to roll. You have to push. Okay, awesome. Now I want you to take your Play-Doh and kind of smash it in your hand. Landon, did you have a question, buddy? Okay. So you're going to smash this Play-Doh. I want you to use a force and put dots in your Play-Doh. So your Play-Doh looks like a blob of a rock. Use your force to put dots in it. Now my Play-Doh looks like this. Does your Play-Doh look like that? What force did we use to put dots in our Play-Doh? Landon.
The force push.
Yes. In order to make these dots happen, we had to push. Well, I want you to make this flatter. Use your own force to make it flat. Then raise your hand and tell me what force you used. Do not use push. Oh, that's tricky. Do not use the force of push. All right. Ryan, what force did you use to make this flatter?
Pull it.
That's what I was gonna do. Pull. If we can't use the push force, we can pull it slightly, and as we pull, what happens? If it doesn't fall apart, it becomes flatter as I pull it and bigger. All right, now I want you to take this Play-Doh and put it in a ball. Take this Play-Doh and roll it up into a ball. It's taken mine a while. I have too many creasy edges. Once you've got your ball, hold it up for me. Hold up your ball like this. Make sure it's good and round. Now, if you have a book nearby or a whiteboard, get it out. And I want you to kind of prop it up at an angle, like this. I'll wait while my friends go get some things. Yeah, you don't have to show me what the book is. Just kind of set it, like if you have a table in front of you, pretend like my hand's the table, just raise it up a little bit. Okay, so raise it up a little bit. What happens happens to our Play-Doh when we let go? What happened? Someone raised their hand. What happened to the Play-Doh when I let it go? Nicole?
It fell.
It fell. It rolled. That Play-Doh rolled away. Okay. What force was used to make it roll? What force was used? Russell?
Falling or rolling?
Yes, falling or rolling. And that force was gravity. Gravity is a fancy Nancy word for something that pulls you down to the earth. We don't feel gravity in our body, but gravity is something that Earth has that keeps us on the ground. Raise your hand if you've ever seen footage of astronauts in space. Have you ever seen what an astronaut looks like floating in space? They don't have gravity in space, so they float everywhere. We do have gravity. We do. So, gravity is what keeps us held down. So the ball has gravity pulling it to the bottom. Now, keep your book nice and flat. Roll your Play-Doh back into a ball. Roll it, back into a ball. Roll it, back into a ball. Now, keep your book nice and flat. Put it in front of you nice and flat. Put your ball on the book. What happened to the ball? Raise your hand and tell me. What is happening to the ball? Smriti?
I have, it is flat and I have a question.
It is what?
It is staying on the book and I have a question.
Okay, so the ball stayed on the book. What's your question, Smriti?
If gravity stays on the ground, how do rocket ships fly up and astronauts go to space?
They have to use a force, a pushing force. So the jets on the spaceship push down on the earth to make them go up. Okay, thank you. Mute your microphone. So, is there when this is flat, is there a force being used to roll the ball, to move it? There's no motion because there's no force. If you do not apply a force, you cannot have a motion. What motion can I use to get the ball to move? Raise your hand and tell me. Are we?
You can move it?
How?
You can
Can I push it? So I can use a pushing force. Very good. What's another force I can use? Can anyone think of something other than pushing it with my hand? What else could I do? Nicole?
roll it.
Roll it. That's the same thing though. What if I did this? What force did I use? Landon?
Push.
Yes, I pushed. I blew and the wind pushed it. All right, we're going to do another experiment. Take your ball of Play-Doh and smoosh it. Smush it like this. And if you want to, you can give it sides and corners. So it's kind of like a square. Smush it and then kind of pinch 4 sides and 4 corners. Do you see how I did mine? I kind of smushed it into a square. Okay, now that you've got your square, get your book back out. Here, I can turn this off behind me. That's distracting. Get your book back out. Hold it at an angle and put your square at the top and see what happens. Let go. Hey! Did it just roll like before? No, why not? Why didn't it roll? Adeline?
Because it's a square and squares can't roll like balls can.
Right. And because it's a flat surface on top of a flat surface, it causes more friction. Friction is a fancy-nancy word where 2 things are working against each other.
I have a question.
What's your question?
At the end of the lesson, can I show you something?
Yes, at the end. So friction is where 2 things are working against each other. Now, I could use the force of my hand and make it slide down. But when 2 flat surfaces are on top of each other, it makes a friction. That's why balls roll better than things that are square. All right. Great job, boys and girls. We are going to learn so much more about force and motion next week. And we're going to do more fun and cool experiments. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to ask me a question, just stay on. And everyone else, let's just silently leave today. I want you to have a wonderful weekend and silently wave goodbye. If you want to stay on, you can stay on. Bye-bye.
Bye.